When do we get back to normal? I don't think we get back to normal. I think we get back, or we get to a new normal, right?
Shows that this is not about science. This is about power and about control. But Dimwit de Blasio, he doesn't care. Now, far-left Democrats at all levels of government are responsible for cratering a once great American city. And it's about to get a lot worse because of something the Angle warned you about at the very start of the pandemic. As for what could come next, there are proposals for immunity passports that will be required for commercial flights or even to go to work. Digital certificates that would certify that individuals, American citizens, have an immunity to this virus and potentially other viruses going forward to then facilitate travel and work.
I'm very concerned about the slippery slope in terms of continuing encroachments on personal liberty.
Can you believe how long ago that was? And in the 14-plus months since those comments, the only group that hasn't had its liberties encroached upon in New York are the looters, the thugs, and the gangbangers who've been free to terrorize a city that's now at its breaking point. But Dimwit de Blasio, he doesn't care. His constituency consists of illegal aliens, Marxist agitators, teachers' unions, abortion fanatics, and assorted free riders, not the proud working people who call New York home.
I want you to imagine the notion that because someone's vaccinated, they can do all the amazing things that are available in this city. It will require vaccination for workers and customers in indoor dining, in indoor fitness facilities, indoor entertainment facilities. This is going to be a requirement. The only way to patronize these establishments indoors will be if you're vaccinated, at least one.
The big bird of bloviation strikes again. Now think about this. You're a restaurateur. You're one of the brave ones who decided to keep going despite the draconian, obscene lockdowns and rules, and now they throw up this barrier to you and your potential customer base. Now, for most of the past 18 months now, the city has been suffering under COVID shutdowns, mandates, schools were closed, criminals have had a run of the place, but Mayor de Blasio wants to take the city backward, like it's still May of 2020, all because of the Delta variant. Now, it's just the latest excuse for, once again, making life miserable for businesses, students, and service industry workers. But I'm here to tell you tonight, what de Blasio is doing has zero to do with the virus. I want you to look closely at the death chart from COVID in New York State. Does this look like a crisis to you? Then if you look at New York City alone, a city of 8.3 million people, the 7-day average of total deaths from COVID right now is 5. On April 7th, 2020 alone, that number was 815. We don't have a COVID crisis in New York. We have a leadership crisis in New York. Setting aside what we know is a gross deprivation of liberty, which is going to be challenged in court, this twisted new normal mandate will be another stake in the heart of a city struggling right now to survive. Now, this is the reality of life in New York City after de Blasio's reign of terror over the last 13 months. Look at it. If there's any silver lining in his announcement today, it's this. Vaccine passports will only spur more New Yorkers to pull up stakes. In Tennessee right now, people are getting ready for college football. They're enjoying restaurants, getting ready to send their kids back to school, in person, maskless, thank you very much. In other words, they're going on with their lives. Ditto with Texas, Florida. Of course, COVID cases are going up, but putting everything in context, the governors of red state America know that mandates, threats, intimidation, restrictions, they'll eventually kill the patient, meaning their state's economy and their children's futures. And they also know the government's refusal to recognize the protection that millions and millions of Americans already have from natural immunity, cross-reactive immunity, shows that this is not about science. This is about power and about control. Now, Biden may not understand the dynamics at play, Lord knows that, but the stark contrast between life in a free state and life in a COVID captive state, but Biden's political ventriloquists, they get it. So they sent old Joe out again today to attack DeSantis and Abbott.
Mr. President, do you believe that Governor DeSantis and Governor Abbott are personally making decisions that are harming their own citizens?
I believe the results of their decisions are not good for their constituents. And it's clear to me and to most of the medical experts that the decisions being made, like not allowing mask mandates in school and the like, are bad health policy.
The medical experts. Now, as we saw happen in the spring of 2020 and the fall of 2021, the red states will once again begin to leave the blue states that follow New York's path behind. Why would you start a new business today in New York when you could live a normal life in Nashville? More and more Americans trapped in blue states will see that they don't have to live this way anymore. Unless, but I guess you're itching to live under these terms: skyrocketing crime, murders and shootings way up from 2019, insane COVID rules and mandates, and the huge new entitlements that Democrats want to make permanent. Back in April 2020, well, the love gov, you kind of let it slip.
When do we get back to normal? I don't think we get back to normal. I think we get back, or we get to a new normal, right? Like we're seeing so many facets of society right now. So we will be at a different place.
What a poltroon. If there's a shred of principle left in the Democratic Party, and after seeing that guy, we'll learn more about him later in the show. Not really much of a chance of that, but we know he's certainly going to be in a different place.